Hey guys, welcome back to Salem, Cellar. Today we are going to be just solving the puzzle that is the escape room. But first, please make sure you're following me on social media and like, share, and subscribe. I'll be right back. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a movie that has really become one of my favorites. It is Escape Room. It was released January 4th, 2018, and it was directed by Adam Robitel. So this movie is a thriller action horror film. It's starring Taylor Russell, who is from Lost in Space, and also Logan Miller. Cute little fact. Logan, his name in the movie is Ed Miller, so same last name in real life. And before I go into anything else, I will be just the full spoilers. There will be full spoilers throughout. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want spoilers, I would click off now because I'm going full spoiler. So this movie begins with 6 strangers receiving this odd puzzle box. It's kind of like Willy Wonka's ticket to the chocolate factory. This box is giving them entrance into what is called an escape room. So for people who aren't familiar with escape rooms, they have them all over the country. Or all over the world, I'm pretty sure. It's a room where you enter and you solve puzzles and riddles throughout to escape. Now, you're not in any real danger in real life, but this movie is a completely different situation. Now, these strangers are entering into this escape room challenge to win a big cash prize. So they all end up solving the little puzzle box, and it gives them information on where they need to go, what they're going to be winning. So they get to this weird, odd building with a weird, odd man in front checking them in that seems to know a little bit more about them than he should probably know. There's one of the characters is actually a veteran, and he thanks her for her service when she's entering into the elevator, which I thought was a little odd. How would he know that she is a vet? Also, he takes all their cell phones from them. Why would they need their cell phones to be taken away? I've done quite a few escape rooms and my cell phone has never been taken from me prior. So they get into the first room, which is really the first puzzle, the first challenge of their horrible day that they're about to have. And what I want to say about the first room is my favorite by far. Now, each room you have a bit of terror that's involved. It is definitely diving into people's fears. This one, it is fire. Fire is the fear in this one. So as they're sitting there, they're realizing this game has started and we need to figure out how to get out and to go into the next room. Now, as they're playing the game, finding riddles, the room is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Now, the main character, who is Taylor Russell, her name is Zoe. Now, she is this tiny little genius that is, picking up on the clues pretty quickly. So as they're going through, finding all the different clues, they're realizing that the woman that was in the room, that was speaking behind the glass that they thought was a receptionist, there's no woman there. There's nobody there. They're in the room alone. So they're like, okay, this is a little weird, but we're going to continue. Then they're realizing that the walls are starting to heat up, that the room is getting a lot hotter. Okay, panic sets in. Like, what is going on? Is this real? Is this fake? How can this be real? Wouldn't this be a lawsuit if it was real life? So they get out of the room, they survive, but barely. They dodge a massive fire that comes into the room, and within seconds, they survive, but within seconds, it's pretty horrifying. That is by far my favorite room. While watching it, you could just feel the walls closing in on you. It's terrifying. It is terrifying. Even if you don't have a fear of fire, which I don't have a fear of fire, but this is horrifying to me, horrifying. So the next room, they're like, okay, this can't be real. Nobody would really do this to people. And they are continuing to solve the puzzles. They are now outside. How are we outside? We are in a building. Now, one of my fears is a frozen lake breaking and cracking. And this second challenge, puzzle, room has to do with a frozen lake. So after that, people start dropping like flies because it's meant to take out these characters. They're not supposed to survive it. This movie has a Saw feel. It is not as gruesome. It is not as bloody. It's not as disgusting as Saw, but to me, it's a big trap. A big trap that you have to survive. But really, who's going to survive these situations? It's almost impossible to survive them. They're set up to fail. So there's 5 rooms total and only 2 people survive. So if you have a favorite, do not get too attached. Chances are they're not going to make it to the end. Sorry. So at the end, the 2 survivors figure out that this is not just a little rinky-dink game from like a psychopath. This is a big corporation they're making money off of these people dying. They're posting these videos on the dark web and they're profiting off of it. So there's a big story that goes on in the sequel where you find out exactly who is running this game and what is going on behind the scenes. So this movie is just one of those movies that I can watch repeatedly. It's not anything like I feel like you have to really concentrate. Like it could be playing in the background while I'm doing something else. It's just so much fun to have on. The main characters I really enjoyed throughout. There's so many different personalities. Out of the 6 strangers, there's somebody you're definitely rooting for. There's somebody that you're like, I can't stand him. He's arrogant and cocky. You're going to know exactly who I'm talking about once you watch it. It's just a really, really great movie that I feel like it's not being discussed about as much as it should be. The second movie is just as good. So I'm going to be posting the sequel to this movie in a few days. So make sure your notifications are on so you do not miss that. So like always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're following me on social media. I post really cool memes, really cool stuff. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll be right back.